exercise wherever you are. In fact, some offices in Asia have a special break time for doing stretches and yoga-like exercises.
Yeah, they also have time for sleep.
They also, like a siesta. Yeah, they have some like a cot.
Yeah, on your decks, you just push it out like that.
Pull out your chair and snooze.
Times for
What?
Yes.
What?
What's this
I
one?
don't know what you're talking about. Too. I don't know.
Look like Michael Jackson. Okay, but there's something quite sensitive. Maybe it might have been perfect for a Women Wednesday if all the ladies were here, but as being a man involved, in fact, two cases, being a man involved, I think that in some ways we do have something to say about it, even though it is going to be at odds to what is out there in the public space, said from a man. I was just going through something now. This just swiped across the father of, I don't know if you heard about that 4-year-old girl who was putting up obscene pics and all that. He was arrested, and the girl has been taken into, custody is not the word, but into custody. Yeah, let's say it's custodian. And taken into custody doesn't have to seem like, you know. So that one, I hope that man learns his lesson, and other people learn their lesson from that. You know. But this is not the first time men are speaking about women's bodies, and that is in reference to a clip online from Femi Lazarus. Before now, Jerry Eze had also said something about this, and that's referring to the monthly cycle of women and how the attitude or how their hormones affect them, and saying that, look, no matter what happens during that period, it's who you are. If you are an ill-tempered person, if you are not well-mannered, don't blame it on that time of the month. You know, and as a man, I thought about it. You know, people have been saying back and forth, oh, you don't really, listen to him or what. In what universe, in what reality, in what dimension is it appropriate to talk about something I have never, I don't, and I will never experience. Yeah. How? Somebody said that one of the paths to success is looking at somebody who has told a path and then you follow. In fact, many people in business and everywhere will tell you that. Do you understand? So that means that you cannot take away how important experience is concerning everything. You cannot talk about what you haven't experienced. If you as a person, and that's the problem we have with many coaches and all of that. There's people I see on Facebook and they're talking about, oh, get rich, do this, that. They're trying to sell a book and all of that. And then you're looking at what have you done? What are your antecedents? There are two ladies here, and I would really want them. I just want to
do some clicks for Mike in the building. Thank you, Mike. You've sort of pulled everything, encapsulated everything into a sad fact. And we women can say we're sad about the fact that men will never experience it. What it means to actually look at your calendar and count the days till your body decides to betray you. And it feels like a betrayal for some women because there's just nothing you can do about it. There's aches, pains, headaches, dizziness, anxiety. Even depression. That is all linked with the monthly cycle.
So
it is something beyond explanation if you cannot experience it yourself. And for some women, it gets so bad that they can't even process just basic menial activities. Basic stuff. They can't even process. It's like your body is saying, nah, no, sit down. You're not doing anything.
I mean, just hunger for some men. Yeah. They become just hunger.
Irrational.
We don't think straight. You come back home and they don't put food and all of that. Your thoughts are this thing. And then somebody's talking about different things. Somebody's talking about, maybe we're being very, somebody's talking about bleeding. Somebody's talking about, in quote, life going out of you in some ways. Yeah. I'm trying to, because I don't understand it. Yeah. I've never experienced it. So the best I can do is to try to imagine what will be happening, and that is the most I can do. Okay, imagine, and then when it gets to that point, and when it gets to how women behave, I shut up.
Mike, this is it's been an age-long problem, actually. It's a reprogramming, it's a programming, right, that has been sort of engineered into our mindsets as men or as boys and girls, even growing up, because we saw our fathers, you know, do it to our mothers. Our mothers never stopped. They kept on going.
Just kept pushing.
They kept pushing. Our grandmothers kept on going. They would go to the farms, even during their periods. No matter how they were feeling, they would always cater to the men. They would always do what they can for the men, regardless of how they were feeling. And the men, on the other hand, couldn't actually understand what they were going through because they did not actually communicate it. Do you understand? And then, even to the point where we've also heard a lot of men say, are you the first person to be pregnant? Or are you the first person to give birth?
That one. The last time we just enter that one. As a man, you want to talk about pregnancy?
Exactly. Because...
You can as well talk about it now.
Yeah,
Since if you can talk about menstruation, you can always talk about that pregnancy is nothing now.
Exactly.
Wow. You can as well say that.
We saw our mothers, even while they were pregnant, they would go to the farms, they would carry firewoods, they would carry buckets of water on their head. Because to them, it was easy. They were not expressing their pains. They were not expressing how they were truly feeling. They were not communicating it. So the men did not understand what they were going through.
So right now, those
and
men
so
are
now, because we have come to the age where there's a lot of education, there's a lot of awareness, people are now encouraged to speak up, then it now comes to the fore. And then when women talk about the things that their bodies are going through, men are like, I don't understand. My mother did it, so what are you on about?
So first of all, for those that don't understand, every woman reacts and responds to it differently. It's not the same for every woman.
So we forget that our hormones, when we're at that time of the month, our hormones experience a variation of different changes.
You know what I would do?
That affects the chemicals in our brains, which induces mood swings. It induces, and sometimes the inducement can take a different direction. It depends on the direction of the hormone. It says no to this week, this month, Yeah. Everybody's going to hear, your husband will hear it.
If I was in an organization, what I would do is that I would get women to sit on a panel and talk to women about their bodies. And if they need to manage it, and I sit down by the side and I should think of how do I support a lady in this point.
Thank you, Mike.
If I go somewhere and they say a lady
Mike for
is
president.
going to president of what? It depends on the organization and presidency.
So we know what you are presidenting.
So let me say something. Let me just say something.
Okay, go ahead.
I have seen a situation, where a woman drove herself to the hospital, gave birth, drove herself back. I have also seen a situation where a woman was carried to the hospital, lost her life. 2 women, pregnant, but look at...
Different situations.
And I can't even start to fathom.
It's hard to...
So that lets you know it is insensitive. And I dare say, look, I'm holding myself for some words. It shows a lack of emotional intelligence that any man or at any time would, or anybody, this is not a man, anybody would talk about something you've not experienced.
I also would like to believe
I wonder where that comes
from a
in.
place of see finish. In a marriage.
Amen.
Yes. See finish. Yes.
It started from the day you said I do. You know.
It also comes with because but wait, listen to what I'm saying here. It comes from a place of because when you have seen someone to the point where you know them in and out, it sort of affects your level of appreciation
for
them. You don't see their value. You don't see so much in what they are doing. You don't appreciate it. And that's why we're having this conversation. It's bringing to the fore that men, dear men, understand your woman's period. Find a way to help her and support her and appreciate her. Don't say, my mother did it. She is not your mother. Times are changing.
At this
Please,
point,
let's try to normalize supporting and appreciating our women. In short, whether the time of the month or not.
Speaking of time of the month, 28th of May.
Yes, the 28th of May is
menstrual
hygiene day.
Hygiene Awareness Day. And we at
TVC Women's Network,
we're working on something very special. We're trying to make sure that we get hygiene products and clothes to young girls.
Not just young girls, but also women, so that this time we're having a community outreach program where we're reaching out to women in Bariga, women and young girls in Bariga, because there's a particular slummy side of Bariga that we're going to be catering to, because these are women, these are young girls who have to drop out of school due to lack of, access to sanitary products. And even some of these women are getting reproductive issues, health issues.
We'll pick up on this.
Yes.
Second band, we'll talk about this.
We'll talk about this.
Talk about this. All right, let's take a time. I'll be back in a bit.